Hello everybody, welcome back to the Knitting Fever YouTube channel. My name is Solveig, I'm a knitwear designer from Vancouver Island, British Columbia, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Kureyon yarn from NORO. Kureyon is a line of yarn from NORO that has been around for almost 40 years now, and that is a true testament to how well loved this yarn is by myself and by many other knitters and crocheters, fiber artists around the world. I have admired NORO as a yarn brand for a very long time now, for many reasons. One of them being that they source all of their animal fibers from certified organic farms, and they make efforts to include as much natural fibers in their yarns as possible because they want to create yarns that are as environmentally sustainable as possible, and they pride themselves in creating yarns that feel very natural, that recall the heritage styles and textures of yarns from the past, and that remind us of where these fibers come from, which is the natural world. NORO Kureyon is 100% wool, and it is a number 4 weight yarn. I would put this at about a worsted weight by the feel of it. If you're knitting with a single strand of this, they recommend using a 4.5 to 5 millimeter needle or hook. One skein of NORO Kureyon is 50 grams and works up to about 100 meters. So you do get quite a bit of yardage in this little package. The name Kureyon is actually the Japanese word for crayon, and I think that is the perfect name for this yarn because of how vibrant the colors are. When Knitting Fever sent me a box of this yarn, it truly felt like opening up a box of crayons, and working with this yarn absolutely does feel like creating a beautiful, vibrant work of art. The range of colors for all of the NORO yarns, but especially Kureyon, is huge. It's almost a pastime in its own to look through and pick which ones are your favorites. NORO talks about the colors for the Kureyon line being inspired by sunflower patches and the mottled shades of brown in tree bark, by fields of wildflowers. And that's something that I really appreciate as a knitwear designer who pulls a lot of inspiration from the natural world myself. I find it to be such a joy to work with yarn where the natural world is considered in every step of the process of creating these yarns, down to where the fibers are sourced from organic farms, down to how the yarn is processed using as few chemicals as possible and shortening the processing time so that the process can be as gentle on the environment as possible, and allowing the yarn to retain some of those natural textures in it. And because Kureyon, like many of the NORO yarns, is hand spun, you'll find while knitting it that some of the strands are a little thicker than others. While this might be a little strange to you if you haven't knit with a yarn like this before, it's one of the things that I love most about the Kureyon because you never truly know exactly what it's going to look like until you knit it up. You never know how the colors are going to play together. It's a really fun process to knit with these yarns because it feels like a surprise the whole time, like you're continually unwrapping a gift. Because this is quite a rustic yarn, I love to use Kureyon for any outerwear projects, so a jacket or a cardigan that you'd wear over another shirt, as well as anything that I'm going to be felting. These are perfect for that. This is a swatch that I did a little while ago using NORO Kureyon color number 211. I think it's absolutely beautiful if you're looking for more natural colors in this line. I made this swatch a little while ago because I was knitting some felted clogs for my brother, my partner, and my best friend, and I used all NORO yarns for those clogs. I don't have my brother's clogs here with me today, which are the ones that I did in this color, but I do have my best friend's clogs that I borrowed from her. So this is what they turned out like. I think that they are absolutely stunning. I used NORO Kureyon for these clogs held double on 9mm needles, which gives them great strength and a lot of cushiness on the soles and warmth throughout. and I thrifted an old suede jacket that had been damaged and used that for the soles on the bottom. One of the reasons why I really enjoy working with a yarn like Kureyon held double is because I find that it creates this beautiful mottled effect when it comes to the color, instead of getting those stripes across, which can be gorgeous if that's what you're looking for. You end up kind of blending the colors together and creating more gentle transitions between the colors. So if that sounds like something that you would like in a piece that you're creating, I definitely recommend trying some of the NORO Kureyon held double. It will give you a gorgeous effect. These are about 6 months old and they've held up so well. You can see that there's a little bit of pilling. I did give them a bit of a trim before making this video. And that's to be expected after the first little bit that you wear something felted, especially if it's getting a lot of wear, like something on your feet. But I wouldn't let that deter you from using NORO Kureyon in your felting. That's just a natural part of the process that I've had to deal with pretty well all of the felting projects that I've done. And I think that these turned out stunningly, especially the colors after they felted. And because I'm somebody who always wants to know what colors people are using, I'll tell you all of these that I've got here. The color that I used for my best friend's slippers is called Okayama, and it's number 457. This beautiful dark blue color is number 463. This purple and green palette is number 188. This one, which I just love, is 466. This is one of my absolute favorites, and it is color 377. This one, which reminds me a bit of a robin, is color number 443. Got 3 more here. This blue palette is number 359. And these last 2 here, this one is number 466. And last but not least, this beautiful, almost Easter egg color is 469. NORO Kureyon is absolutely one of my favorite yarns, especially for felting. The texture of the yarn makes it such a joy to work with, and the colors, as I mentioned before, make knitting with this yarn feel like a constant surprise and keeps me engaged throughout an entire project. So that is my little review for NORO Kureyon. I hope it answers some of the questions that you have, but if you're still wondering if this is the right pick for that project that you're dreaming up, I hope you'll leave us a comment down below. We'll be happy to answer any of your questions. I hope you have a good rest of your day and happy knitting.